Every level of tennis player explained. Level 1, horrible. Ben Shelton. If tennis had a TikTok personality, it would be Ben Shelton. This guy plays every point like he's auditioning for a Marvel movie. The serve, 150 miles per hour's rockets. The roar afterward, even louder. And somewhere between the serve and the next shot, you realize there's no plan. Watching Shelton is like watching tennis in fast forward. He moves faster than he thinks, and he hits harder than he should. One game, pure fire. Aces, winners, fist pumps straight into the camera. The next 3 double faults and a look that screams, "What just happened?" At the 2023 US Open, he nearly took down Novak Djokovic and became an overnight sensation. But then came the real ATP Tour, where opponents don't care about hype, only about patterns and patience. And suddenly, all that noise turned back into lessons. Ben Shelton is raw energy in human form, young, loud, fearless. Fans love him because he plays with his whole chest. But let's be honest, most of the time, he's figuring it out as he goes. You don't watch Shelton to see textbook tennis. You watch him because something is about to happen, either a 150 miles per hour's ace down the tee or a ball straight into the sponsor banner. He's not polished, he's not predictable, and that's exactly why he's perfect for level 1, pure, viral chaos disguised as tennis. Level 2, bad. Alexander Bublik. If tennis had its own stand-up comedian, his name would be Alexander Bublik. This guy doesn't just play tennis, he trolls it. One point, he's painting lines with laser-perfect winners. The next, he's serving underhand in the 3rd set of a Masters match just because he can. With Bublik, you never know if you're watching an ATP match or a live improv show. He says he hates tennis, yet he still shows up and wins titles. He can take down a top 10 player on Monday, then lose to world no 250 on Wednesday because, in his own words, it was boring. He's the guy who looked at the seriousness of modern tennis and said, "Nah, I'll make it fun." Bublik is chaos with a smile. He'll hit a ridiculous lob, then flip his racket and try the next shot with the frame. He'll argue with the umpire, flirt with the camera, laugh in the middle of a rally, and somehow it all feels natural. He's tennis's Joker. And no, not Djokovic, the Joker. Watching him play feels like watching a magician who keeps forgetting where he hid the card. You don't know what's coming, but you can't look away. He won Halle in 2023, beat Rublev and Zverev, and the next week lost to a qualifier with zero expression on his face. That's Bublik. He doesn't chase perfection, he chases entertainment. His fans, they don't want stability, they want quotes. They show up for the chaos, the unpredictability, the comedy. He's not just a tennis player, he's content with a racket. And if Alexander Bublik ever wins a Grand Slam, it probably won't make sense, but no one will care because he'll do it his way, and the tennis world will love him for it. Level 3, mid. Cameron Norrie. If Bublik is chaos, Cameron Norrie is the complete opposite. He doesn't smash rackets, argue with umpires, or scream at the sky. He just clocks in, does his job, and goes home with another win on the board. Every day, every set, every point. There's nothing flashy about him. No 140 million serve, no forehand made for posters. But what he does have is reliability, and in tennis, that's gold. Norrie is tennis turned into math. He builds points like an accountant builds spreadsheets. Every shot calculated, every step efficient. He doesn't win beautifully, he wins correctly. While others chase highlight reels, Norrie chases percentages. In 2022, he made the Wimbledon semifinals, took down Nadal, Rublev, Fritz, all quietly, all professionally. No drama, no noise, just results. His fans aren't looking for fireworks, they're looking for fundamentals. They appreciate the clean technique, the footwork, the serve placement, and that 70+% first serve rate that never seems to drop. He's not the reason people fall in love with tennis, he's the reason the sport works. Watching Norrie play, you might think, this is boring. And then you check the score and somehow, he's already up a set. You didn't notice when it happened, but he's been in control the whole time. That's level 3, the grinders, the workers, the quiet killers of the tour. They don't change the game, they keep it alive. Level 4, good. Nick Kyrgios. If tennis were a Hollywood movie, Nick Kyrgios would be both the hero and the villain. He's the only player who can lose a set, smash a racket, scream at an umpire, and still sell out every stadium he walks into the next day. Kyrgios isn't just a player, he's an event. You don't watch his matches to study technique. You watch because you have no idea what's about to happen. One point, he's hitting a 130 mph second serve. The next, he's arguing with a fan. Then he's hitting a tweener, smiling at the camera, and somehow breaking his opponent's spirit all in the same game. He's beaten Djokovic, Nadal, Medvedev, and then lost to a world number 82 days later because, in his words, "I just wasn't feeling it today." In 2022, he made the Wimbledon final a moment when even his haters had to admit the man can play. When Kyrgios is locked in, he's untouchable. His serve, his hands, his instincts, pure genius. The problem? He's rarely locked in for long. Kyrgios is tennis with the volume turned all the way up. He's emotion, chaos, comedy, and brilliance rolled into one. He doesn't fake anything. He'll argue, laugh, complain, celebrate, sometimes all in 30 seconds. That's why people either love him or can't stand him. His fans don't come to watch tennis, they come to experience Kyrgios. Every match is unpredictable. Will it be a meltdown, a masterpiece, or both at once? You genuinely don't know. Yes, he can be frustrating. Yes, he can self-destruct. But in an era where everyone plays like a machine, Kyrgios reminds us what tennis used to be: raw, loud, and human. He doesn't care about being perfect. He cares about being unforgettable. And that's why Nick Kyrgios defines level 4. He can lose in the first round and still be the most talked about player of the tournament. He's not just playing tennis, he's making content. Level 5, Elita. Stefanos Tsitsipas, the philosopher who almost made it. Tsitsipas fans believe in style. For them, it's not just who wins, it's how you win. And Stefanos plays like every rally is a scene in a movie. Every forehand, a brushstroke, every gesture, a touch of drama. When he burst onto the scene, he looked like the new hero of tennis. He took down Federer at the 2019 Australian Open, reached Grand Slam finals at Roland Garros 2021, and again in Melbourne 2023. It felt inevitable the torch was about to be passed, but then came the wall. Twice he stood one match away from greatness, and twice Novak Djokovic stood across the net. Twice the dream dissolved. Tsitsipas fans live on the edge of hope. They've seen the brilliance, the backhand winners, the creative angles, the electric moments when everything clicks. And they've felt the heartbreak, the mental lapses, the overthinking, the moments where Stefanos seems to play chess against himself. They love his talent, but sometimes it drives them crazy. He's capable of genius, and then, suddenly, self-destruction. He talks about philosophy, balance, and purpose, but his fans just want to see him finish the masterpiece he's been painting for years. Still, that's what makes him special. Tsitsipas isn't a machine, he's human. A man caught between art and ambition, between emotion and execution. His fans don't demand perfection, they want transcendence. They're waiting for that one moment when everything aligns: the talent, the mindset, the fire, and Stefanos finally breaks through. Because Tsitsipas isn't just a player, he's a story in progress. A philosopher with a racket, standing just one chapter away from greatness. Level 6, Generational. Daniil Medvedev, the chaos that became a system. Daniil Medvedev fans are different. They don't care about flashy winners or wild celebrations. They wait for that quiet moment when Daniil completely breaks an opponent's brain. Because Medvedev isn't just a player, he's a paradox. Tall, awkward, built like he's never taken a tennis lesson in his life, and yet somehow, he's the one who turns every rally into an equation. He's not playing tennis, he's debugging his opponent. 2021 US Open the night everything changed. He stopped Novak Djokovic, one win away from the calendar Grand Slam. No luck, no chaos, just control. That wasn't a final, it was a software crash. And Daniil was the virus. Medvedev's fans are part scientist, part troll. They don't need drama, they love precision. They watch him play 10 feet behind the baseline, tracking every ball like radar. and they grin when the other guy finally snaps. Because that's the beauty of Daniil. He doesn't need to out-hit you, he just outthinks you. He'll return your best serve, defend like a wall, and frustrate you until your mind breaks before your forehand does. He's not here to please the crowd, he's here to prove a point. That tennis isn't only about beauty, it's about intelligence. Some call him robotic, others arrogant. But his fans see what others don't, that under the sarcasm and the chaos is one of the most methodical, calculated minds in the sport. While others chase perfection, Medvedev builds patterns, creates traps, and forces opponents to collapse under their own pressure. He's not emotionless, he's efficient. He doesn't destroy you with power, he does it with logic. That's why Daniil Medvedev is level 6, a player who didn't just survive the Big Three era, but rewrote the rules of how to beat them. He's chaos, organized, and in his world, order always wins. Level 7 GOAT. There are great players, and then there are the gods of tennis. 3 men who didn't just dominate their era, they defined it. Roger Federer, Rafael Nadal, Novak Djokovic, the holy trinity of modern tennis. Federer was the artist. Every movement effortless, every shot poetry in motion. He made tennis look beautiful. 8 Wimbledon titles, 20 Grand Slams, and a career built on grace, not power. When he played, it wasn't competition, it was art. Nadal was the warrior, the man who refused to lose. 14 Roland Garros titles, 22 majors in total, and a level of intensity no one could match. Every rally was a battle, every victory a war won through pain and willpower. He didn't play tennis, he survived it. And then there was Djokovic, the machine, the mind that solved tennis like a code. 24 Grand Slams, more weeks at number 1 than anyone in history, and the one player who broke the illusion of invincibility. When others played for beauty or emotion, he played for perfection, and he found it. Together, they ruled for nearly 2 decades. From 2003 to 2024, no other generation even came close. They faced each other more than 80 times, won over 60 majors between them, and turned every match into mythology. Fans still argue, who's the greatest? Federer, the artist. Nadal, the warrior. Djokovic, the perfectionist. But the truth is, greatness doesn't need a winner. It needs rivals. They pushed each other to limits no human should reach. They made every Grand Slam feel like destiny. And when the history of tennis is written 100 years from now, their names won't be part of the story. They will be the story. Because these 3 didn't just play the game, they became its gods. Level 7 Immortality.